this is Roger with Franken Frames. Today we're going to show you how to install a canvas in a stair-stepped floater frame. A stair-step floater frame is a frame that has an extra step in the bottom, which means it has built-in float space. This is an L-shaped, which from the side looks like the capital letter L. This one you have to add float space to. So you can dictate how much float space you want between your canvas and the inside edge of the frame, which creates the floater frame and the floating effect because the canvas is not touching the inside of the frame. So today we're going to be talking about stair-step floater. This is our 2008 one, #1 seller of everything we have online, maple natural floater with the natural maple interior. This one is made for 1.5-inch canvases. So if you can imagine, here's a canvas stretcher bar. If this had canvas over it and art on it, it would go in this frame. It's a 10 by 10. So you start from the front and you load your canvas in the frame. Very little movement because it has the stair step built in. So from here, you're going to stand this up and hold it with a single hand. Sometimes you can also take, for example, what I've got today is just, you could use a book, but this is another floater we're going to use on another video. Not another floater, but another stretcher bar that we're going to use in the video. You can lay this face down, put wax paper over it to protect your canvas, which should be here. As you can see, this is what the canvas is going to look like in the floater frame. And what we want to do, oftentimes customers will lay this flat down, and if you listen, the canvas drops even with the face of the frame. That means the offset brackets, which are stair-step shaped brackets we're going to use, will not fit, or they seem like they won't fit because it doesn't touch the back of the canvas. If you've got a helper, it's best to stand this up like this, have one person hold the canvas and the floater frame, and then one person can install the offsets on the back. The offsets have double holes. You really don't need to use the hole that goes against the frame to put a screw in because it's stair-stepped and it can't fall out. This screw, the other screw goes into the back of the stretcher bar, and as you can see, once you get these in all four sides, it can't go left, right, up or down or fall out. If you do choose to put a screw in this side, be careful that the screw does not come through the float space and you see it through the inside edge of the frame, or you split the back of the floater frame. If you just feel more secure placing that screw in this side, then I would suggest pre-drilling it is the simplest way. But what I've found the best thing to do is get paperback books or a book, lay wax paper on them, make sure they are the same size as your canvas width from edge to edge. You can also do them on the corners, but this one is going to fit perfectly inside this frame. And what happens is you suspend your canvas and floater frame on the book, and it pushes your canvas to the back of the floater frame. It makes it so much easier to install with little or no error. Typically, on a 10 by 10, I like to put one per side in the middle. If you have a large piece, like a 24 by 36 or a 30 by 40, I typically suggest 3 to 4 offsets per side, starting 3 inches from each corner and getting those in first, and then going back and filling the inside in. Today we're going to use a power drill because it's much easier than trying to drill in. But what you want to do is you can pre-drill your canvas if you want to. You don't have to, but you want to make sure this bracket is pushed all the way against the inside of this side. That will eliminate movement from left to right, and then you're just going to press the drill, hold everything in place with your other hand, and once it's tight, it's secure that side. Now you're going to go directly to your opposite side of this side and install this bracket. Again, this canvas will still go left. It'll still come out of the frame if you kind of wedge it out. So what you want to do is you want to make sure this is still pushed all the way against the edge. The other side, make sure it's pushed up flush against this side. And we'll grab another screw and install it. Remember, at Franken frames, all offset brackets and screws are included with every floater frame. So once you get your screw lined up, you use your power drill until it's tight. It can't move. So you can see 2 will hold that in. And you can choose to do 2 instead of having 4 on the back of your frame. I like to put 4 on there because it stabilizes the stretcher bar over time. Stretcher bars have so much pressure from the canvas on them that they want to warp or bend. So basically you just go to the other side, top or bottom, you get your screw lined up, make sure it's pushed all the way against the inside edge, and drill it in. And don't over drill and strip the screws out. So what we want to do is just a snug fit. Make sure this one's pushed up all the way against the inside. This may wobble a little bit. Just hold it, slide it over. And we have 4 offsets installed. Notice, no screws in the extra hole. It's not needed. The only time you would ever need to use a screw in this hole on a floater frame is if you were doing a 78 by 40. And let's just say when you flip it over, you're going to have canvas, you're going to have a slight recess which protects the artwork. If the frame ever falls, the artwork doesn't get hurt, and plus it gives you a nice presentation having this canvas slightly set back in the frame. We can do a flush mount, but it's very difficult to get it exact on every style of canvas and every thickness of canvas material. So basically what I was going to say is, on a 36 by 60, let's just say the 60-inch side, this molding is so long and so thin, it's bowing away from the canvas or bowing in toward the canvas. What I would do is go to the center of that piece, pre-drill me a pilot hole in the back of the frame, and then while someone's helping you, push in or pull out on this molding to make sure your float space is even, then put a screw in this side, and that'll ensure you have even float space all the way around the canvas. So that's the only time I would ever use a screw in the other side of the bracket. They make these brackets to flip other ways, so you can use them on standard frames instead of using push points to hold artwork, glass, mats, etc. into that style of frame. So that concludes how to install a canvas in a floater frame, stair-stepped, with offset brackets. Be watching for more instructional videos from Franken Frames. Thank you.